What's going on? And this is Alonzo, aka Comics and Pops, and here with another episode of Movies and Shows. And we are going to break down Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. But before we get started, I want to introduce my guest of the show. He is a pillar of the community, an amazing guy, Justin, aka KnowGoodComics. How are you doing? And thank you for coming on the show.
Dude, Alonzo, likewise, man. I appreciate you reaching out, doing this with me, or asking me to do this with you, because I haven't, like I told you off air, this isn't really, talking movies isn't necessarily my thing in terms of I just don't get the opportunity to do it often. So it really worked out, especially as you know, I just watched this over the weekend. So I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited. And of course, anytime I can collaborate with the Team Nerd Herd, it's always a plus. And I see that you got my memo about the red shirt, so we're good there.
Of course, got to coordinate.
Exactly.
No, again, thank you so much for taking time. I know you're a busy guy. I mean, you have like what, 5 shows going on today?
It feels like 10. Yeah, no, yeah. Tuesdays are the busy days, but it works out. It all works out, and I'm able to do this here. I literally just ate some dinner super quick, so I'm ready to go.
Awesome. So before we get started, let's say hello to some folks in the chat. What's going on? Allstrand, Paul, what is up?
Yo.
And we got Michelle, Moonlit Comics. Thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. So let's just get right into it. So, Justin, do you want to break down and summarize the movie for us?
Sure. And I always want to clarify, I am not a professional in any way when it comes to this stuff. But what's up, Geek Driven? But yeah, I will do my best to kind of go, make a run with this.
All right, let's do
it. So basically, it is what I talked to my girlfriend about. The way we describe this movie is as if you had zombies in Ocean's 11. That's what I it's like this zombie heist, right? Essentially. When we first watched it, we didn't watch any of the trailers. We didn't know anything what we were getting into other than the idea that there's zombies. So when we dove into it, we weren't sure what was going to happen, especially in those first few scenes where you first discover how the zombies basically become. And there's this big crash near Vegas, and one of them escapes from the government transferring this, zombie or whatever. And so from there, we thought it was just going to be a full-on zombie film of just, them taking over the world or whatever. And as you know, it's not necessarily the case. And in fact, if anything, the government kind of contains all this, and they have, for the most part, things kind of wrapped up. Of course, time has passed. But, we have our main character, Batista, who's awesome. I absolutely love him as a character or as an actor, and really like what he did for this film. So, yeah, I mean, basically from there, we get the idea that they are offered this opportunity to make a lot of money, basically, Batista. And so his job is to put together a crew, like I said, very similar to Ocean's 11, to basically go in and rob a bank that's or a vault, within Vegas that is surrounded by all these zombies right now. So that am I I don't know if I'm breaking it too detailed or not, but that's
that's perfect. I mean, I like how you compared it to like Ocean's 11 with zombies. I mean, it is totally exactly like that. I mean, these guys, they get hired by this third party to steal money. Or to acquire money before Vegas gets decimated by a nuclear bomb. So you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, that's exactly what this movie is about. And just as you know, with zombie movies, nothing ever goes right. I mean, people just get killed left and right. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and I like that there was another element to the zombies themselves where there's smarter ones, like more upgraded versions, basically ones that understood and really kind of communicated in a way, while there were also like the dumb ones. So it's a little different as well. Station, brother?
Yeah, for sure. Like I like the whole concept of having like this hierarchy. So you have this like, alpha zombie, and then you have his like lieutenants, and then you have the walkers that just don't have a mind. And I like how they kind of introduce the fact that if you were bitten by the alpha, you become a lieutenant. And then if you're bitten by the lieutenants, then you just become like a regular like walker or a slower zombie. But still, I mean, they're fast. I mean, they're running around all over the place. I mean, you don't have any time to breathe. I like the fact that the zombies could fight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Like,
like legitimate like martial arts, like
Yes.
knowing how to move and duck and everything. Like,
Oh
how do you
my
beat
God.
that? You know?
Oh, it was the greatest things. I mean, I've never thought about anything like that.
Yeah.
Like having this kind of zombie be like intelligent enough to move, to open a door, and to fight back. You know, it's usually just like you hold them at bay with your forearm, and then you just like stab them in the head, and they're done.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, the smart ones were dangerous.
I know exactly. So we got some new folks to the chat. So what's going on, Manny? Thank you for coming by. Also to Lord Chucks, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Jesus, as always, thank you for the commentary. What's up, Eric? Azorus Tiger, thanks for stopping by. And also Ian, Hoodrat Comics. Again, it's a pleasure to see you in this early, Pacific time afternoon. So again, thanks so much. Also to X11 Bravo, thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. So let's get into it. So we know that that they're trying to steal this like what $200 million or something like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah, right.
And I like the fact that Bautista went around and was picking people with certain skills, right? So you got your safecracker, you got your pilot, and then you got like friends that he knew. Yep. And then also expert marksmen or people that just aren't afraid of zombies. I mean, I thought it was great to kind of grab these bunch of people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that in itself right there is one of the things that kind of really reminded me of, I know we keep bringing up Ocean's 11, but that's kind of what it was. Like, he was in charge of putting together his own team, and he knew exactly who he wanted, or at least, for certain things. And of course, half these people were super shady, or, like the question of like, could you trust these people, And the other interesting thing I thought was that he was like very picky and choosy about how much money he offered that individual. So, because his deal was, what was it? They each get like, it ended up being like $50 million split any way he wants.
Yep.
So I think he initially wanted to like take 15 for himself, 15 for the one girl, and then 15 for like his other friend. And then from there, the extra was, to be divvied up. And I think the pilot, they offered like 2 million. And then they kind of discovered like, all right, maybe we could drop that, because she was like, yeah, she's like, I'm on board totally. Like, I mean, like exactly. she probably would have done it for less, Yep.
But it's weird though. I mean, if you think about like how they just kind of hodgepodge this group of characters, right. There was a lot of chemistry between the cast.
Yeah. No, there were.
I mean, I felt like even though like they just recruited these people, I like the fact that, you have one of Bautista's friends, the African-American, and kind of being friendly or having that relationship with the safecracker and how they gelled together. I mean, it was great. I love their like banter. I'm like, this is perfect.
But it took him time, right? Like at first he was annoyed by him. He's like, really? We got to bring this guy with us, And he was funny. What was his Ludwig? Was that Ludwig Dieter or whatever? That was the locksmith.
Yep, the locksmith. Yep.
Yeah, he was. I thought he was perfect for the film, like for what he did for the film. That adding that like silliness to it. But yeah, the combo between those two were great. What about the shady guy that worked for the guy that hired them? I hated that guy.
So did I. But you kind of knew. You kind of knew something was up with that character. You're like, why is this guy coming with us? Other than like, oh yeah, I didn't know this was going on. We need to get a sample of the blood of one of the zombies. I'm like, oh, it's like you just knew.
Yep.
You just knew. And that one Hispanic girl that she ate it. She knew. Man. She was like, I'm watching you. I know something's not right.
I loved her. Did I write her name down? I don't think I did. Chambers. Her name was Chambers. She was great. So she was like essentially the first one to go, but she was so badass. Like I really thought she was gonna get out of it when he misled her down the path of like the zombies or whatever. And she comes crashing through that window. Like that was one of my favorite scenes where I'm like, she's still going, she's still alive, and she's just like, guns blazing one way, choking out another one, and stabbing someone else in the head, like all at the same time. It was pretty wild. Unfortunately, she didn't make it, but.
But it was great. I was like, oh my God, she is awesome. Like I expected them to save her. That's one of the things, like I was a little, I I was disappointed about. She was still alive.
Yeah.
But everybody just turned their back and started walking away, except for her boyfriend. And I'm
Right.
like, dude, what is wrong with you guys?
Right. I felt like he could have done a little more there when that went down.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look at that. What's going
Brandon.
on, Brandon? And we got Astro Wizard. What is going on? Thank you for coming. And also, too, we also have Lady No Good Comics.
Oh, yeah. Just
up
saw
in
her in
here.
the chat.
That's right. That's
My
right.
girlfriend. What's up? What's up?
Yeah. So, I mean, there were so many things. So which scene did you like the best?
So it was tough. I actually wrote a couple like things down that I wanted to mention, but like the fight scene that was in Caesar's Palace towards the end when they're running away, basically when they're trying to get to the get to the chopper. The where he's jumping from blackjack table to blackjack table and just like shooting everybody. I just thought that was like, so that whole fight scene, that whole thing was so well done and so badass. And of course, we lose a couple people in that moment. And then the other where was it? The montage in the beginning where the villain, or I call him the villain, but the guy that hired them, when he starts explaining the plan and what it's going to look like. I like where like they act it out basically, but then like the funny guy, what's his name? Ludwig, like cuts him off. He's like, wait, hold on. Before anything, he's like, how do you go about killing them? Like he asked all these like stupid questions that like they were just like, God, do we have to bring this guy? Like that, those were like some of the good moments that I really enjoyed, from the film. But those fight scenes were crazy.
Oh my God, yes, the fight scenes were great. I loved them. I like the martial arts zombies. I also like the montage in the beginning where you showed like Bautista and all of his buddies like in Vegas.
Oh yeah,
while
that was really good.
The zombie apocalypse happened.
Yeah, when it first started, yeah.
Oh my God, it is great. And then I love how they showed them pictures of like they showed their families and they're all bloodied and I'm like, oh my God, this is so great.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that too, because I feel like they made you care for the one woman in the beginning that ends up, dying. We don't even get to meet her. Yeah. But that relation, like, I just feel like that whole little montage was done so well where it made you care about a character. And then on top of that, they introduced a little girl. And then she tried to save her. And then the little girl, like, just couldn't run away. Like, she wanted to just be there. Yep. And obviously they all get eaten essentially.
Yep. And then
but
crushed.
That was, oh yeah. And then, that's right. And then
my God. Like, I did feel like this was great because like there was seriously no character loyalty. It's like, oh, Bautista's going to make it to the end. No, he didn't.
Right. Oh man. Dude, the whole mission was just a massive failure. I just, I'm like, really? Like literally no, like not, I mean, the daughter, yes, that's it. I mean, I think that's it. Like there's,
I know they came for money and got nothing.
Right. Well, and the daughter went because she wanted to save the mother, the one mother of the two children. And even that didn't happen. I mean, they get her out and they're in the helicopter all together, but that crash, like, she ends up being the only one to survive. And it was really hurtful. Like they would have been good otherwise if the daughter just listened to Bautista. Like Bautista would have been alive. They all would have had money at this point. I mean, I guess he did keep some money for her, but it just still wasn't like, it was still a failure. The whole thing.
Yeah, it was. I like your girlfriend. She was saying that the pilot was the MVP. Antigua, she was hilarious. Yeah,
she was great. She was so good. I love the scene where basically she's starting to fix the helicopter up top and it gets set on fire and like blows up. She's cursing at it. She's angry. And then they get then Bautista like basically radios to her and is like, hey, you good up there? Like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm waiting for you. She's like, well, I'm ready to go. I'm just waiting for you. And meanwhile, like nothing looks right. Like, I just like how calm and confident that she was. So she was a really cool character.
Yep, for sure. Yep. And then Bravo Comics is like, yeah, I'm saying we're talking about like, how does this happen in Vegas? Everything happens in Vegas. Come on, we all know that.
Yeah,
any and everything. But then also too, I believe Chuck's had a comment earlier, just kind of in regards to where we see this thing going. So Lord Chucks had asked, like, hey, didn't quite get the end. Will he land in Mexico? So what do you think after watching the movie? Do you think he'll be landing in Mexico?
the guy that was stuck in the bank,
in the vault.
in the vault.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that they would make it, but that he's dead essentially, and that the zombie, the whole problem is going to start over again, basically. That was one thing I didn't really like about the film, was that they carried him on, and the fact that it felt like so many things happened when he came out of the bunker, and then at the same time, like they show his arm and he's bit, and it took that long for him to like start to turn. Meanwhile, Batista turned turned like immediately. So the timing just threw me off, and I'm just like, because he had time to like go back home, go to his car, go to like take
a shower.
Yeah, he cleaned up. He goes to the airport. Yeah, like so it was a
Feed
little
his dog. Yeah,
right. Plus that bomb that went off, I just feel like it would still destroy him in that safe, just because of how big that bomb was. Now, obviously, I get it. It's a film. They're just having fun with it. But yeah, that if there was one thing that really stood out to me, it was probably his survival.
Yeah, I didn't think he'd survive. Like I even went back and I'm like, how did he get bit? I don't remember him getting bit.
Me neither. I thought he was good. I thought he was, I thought he played it safe. I wish, I just wish we got more out of him after that fight scene, and then he gets thrown into the vault. I'm like, oh man, that's like it then, because I just wanted more of him. He was so badass, and if anything, I just thought he'd still get out somehow, even though the funny guy died. I don't know. I want a little more with him, because he was. I wanted to see more of him with that saw that he had, that big saw. We didn't get to see much of that. They really emphasized that in the beginning. He's like, don't touch my stuff, and we didn't really get to see too much of him use it. So that was
because like I was looking forward for him to use that saw against the Alpha.
Yeah.
Because they were face to face, and he puts it down. And
he's I'm like,
he's like, all right. And I'm like, oh, like, come on.
Yeah, that was frustrating.
Yep, just a little bit. So, what did you think about the baby zombie?
Oh yeah, so that I didn't really see that going in that direction. I mean, as it played out, I'm just like, oh, so she's pregnant, and he's like the father, and he's this, he's the king, the leader, but she's his wife, and she's gonna have a baby, but they're zombies, they're already dead, like like that. All that was just like, I don't know if it was necessarily needed. I guess it's just their way of really showing how much of an alpha he was, and how much of a king, I guess you could say, that he was. Like how I think they were just really trying to push how important he actually was, and I guess that was one of their ways of how to do it. But I didn't really care for it that much either way. I mean, I guess it's fine either way. We did get to see a little bit of the baby, so that was kind of gruesome.
Yeah, and then one of the things too, like, yes, Lord Chuck's The Saw was sick. We should have seen more of The Saw.
Yeah.
But going back to that baby, like, Zack Snyder also created that movie, Dawn of the Dead too. So we also have another baby. So I'm like, maybe there's a trend going on. It's like, let's introduce a baby zombie. Why not?
Right. And when I know you mentioned that before we jumped on, I did not realize at all that was a Zack Snyder film. The original. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it original, but
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. So, but I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that's just what he's into. Having zombies, having babies.
And then one of the other things too that I had questions about was, did you notice the robot zombies? The zombies that had blue eyes.
Oh yeah. What was up with that?
I don't know. It's so weird. And that's why, like, I couldn't really fully like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not enjoy the movie, but get really into it, was because I'm like, what's robot zombies doing here?
Right. How did that come to be? Yeah.
And I think it has to do with Zack Snyder, with his thing. He already in his mind has like, okay, we're going to do a prequel. We're going to do an anime series. We're going to have a sequel. We're going to do all of these things. Mm-hmm. So he's leaving a lot of unanswered questions for the viewer.
Oh, is that the plan?
Yeah. There's going to be an anime series for it already on Netflix.
I have no idea.
There's a prequel too. So we're going to find out like how it really started. Maybe we'll see Bautista and everybody, in Vegas living their life and living la vida loca, and then getting zombified.
That I wouldn't mind seeing more details on that. Like that initial how Vegas got to be, how bad it got.
Yeah.
Because I love those opening scenes. I really enjoyed the opening scenes of like seeing the military, and then you have this silly couple that just got married and they're driving opposite directions and have the whole accident. But to see that first initial zombie stand out on the ledge and just look at all of Vegas, like I would love to see more details on that. I know they do a cool montage of like how that goes down, which that was really good too, because I do like the happy music, like the Vegas music playing while all these people are like dying and turning into zombies and killing other people. Like that was really crazy. But yeah, I would like to see more details on that. That would be cool.
Yeah, I think the prequel is going to talk about like how they actually have this super soldier or this like alpha zombie and how that came about.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also potentially delve into the lives of like Bautista's character of Wanderer, which is the African American of the show, and kind of talk about their relationship.
Yeah, I could see that could be good.
It would be, and the whole anime series. I don't know if the anime series is going to be the sequel, or if it might be, like run in parallel with, Army of the Dead.
Yeah, see, that's interesting because I feel like he was really trying to develop this story between the father and daughter throughout, and even just Batista and his family in general, because there were the flashbacks in the beginning.
Yeah,
him having to essentially kill his own wife, and how that like destroyed him. Yeah. So there were these heavy moments, but then other than that, there were like this crazy, silly action scenes. So it was interesting to see how Snyder was trying to get all this in one film. And then him, Batista having a heart-to-heart with his daughter, like that whole thing, like that almost took me a little out of it, because I'm like, aren't you guys in a rush? Don't you guys need to be like, it just got cut down to like, you guys got 20 minutes or whatever, and now they're having this heart-to-heart. Like I understand the idea of how he wanted to do that, but I just feel like it was poorly timed,
yeah, exactly.
But I would like to see more of it.
Yeah, it should have been like on the car ride there, or while they're walking around, let's just chit chat, because it's like nothing's going on.
Yeah, right.
But it's like, yeah, to your point, I'm like, come on, hurry.
Yeah,
you only have like 24 hours, and now you only have 4 hours.
Yeah, they're like, they moved the bomb up, and they're like, well, let's talk about our feelings for a little bit.
Yep, for sure. Oh, and then Eric Azor's Tiger's like, yeah, the anime is going to be super crazy because they can do whatever they want, and that is true.
Yeah, that's going to probably be nuts.
Yep. So Justin, would you recommend this movie to just a hardcore zombie fan? And also too, like, would you recommend it to like an average Joe, just kind of walking down the street?
I would recommend it to anyone. I mean, the thing for me is that got my attention is that Batista's in the film. That was one of the first things that even gave me the idea of like, all right, let me check this out. Now I do like some of the other older zombie films that we had mentioned here so far. I've always enjoyed that, that kind of style. So it certainly, obviously is not for everybody, but I would say if you like any type of zombie film or anything like that, I think it's worth at least seeing, or like I said, to remind them that it's a heist and it's not necessarily just about zombies, to kind of go in that angle. But I would say ultimately, like, this isn't a movie that I would necessarily sit and watch all the time, or like I didn't love it in that sense, but I was certainly very entertained enough to where I can say I liked it, and I would recommend it, because I do think that it does a good job of entertaining, and that's exactly why I watch films. So, if I can be entertained, I'm all for it, and I will definitely recommend it to others.
No, I totally agree with you. Like a lot of people like go into movies and they're like, "Oh, this is horrible. There's no plot," but it's like, we watch movies just to be entertained. I mean, I understand if you're going to go watch like a highbrow movie that you want your mind to work, but you're getting the zombie movie. I mean, you gotta like hold back and be like, this isn't really happening. I'm just going to enjoy the ride. It's like,
yeah, you got to set your expectations.
Yep, exactly. But I would recommend that if the person that's watching or wanting to watch this movie doesn't like gore, to stay away, because there is a lot of it.
That's true.
There is a lot.
Yeah, this is not for kids. So
yeah, that's right. You're a little squeamish. This might not be for you.
Right, exactly.
But if you're looking for guns, zombies just fighting, oh my God, this is your movie, and it's funny. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, that's what I love. Like, I like the balance of that. I like that it goes back and forth. It gives you some things to laugh at, but there's also some very serious moments at the same time, and then obviously everything in between with the action and everything else. So I do think it's well balanced for sure.
I do too, but you know what? Lord Chucks was like, "Hey, he liked it enough to not fall asleep." There you go.
That's a
There
plus.
you go. So Lord Chucks' expectations were like right here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Which is, I think, what you need to do. Like,
Yeah.
you can't go in there thinking like this is going to be like this is going to win an Oscar, right?
Right. 100%.
You just want to sit down, just have some fun, get a bucket of popcorn, and just hang out.
Enjoy it. Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right.
Agreed.
So we're almost at our 30-minute mark. So Justin, you want to let us know what you got going on, especially today?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, as we were saying, I have a couple things, back-to-back shows coming up here, 7:30. So about half hour from now, we'll go live on my channel for Comic Relief. It's me and Morbius. We've been doing it now for about 15. This will be our 15th episode, and we basically just talk about sensitive subjects within the comic book hobby. So, we're this week or today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the etiquette of being a buyer or a seller, kind of both sides of that. We're going to have my friend James on from Comics for Cheap over on Instagram as our guest. So that's a lot of fun. Usually there's some real, debating going back and forth on this type of show. We talked about like first appearances and things like that, how we define those things. So, some heated moments for sure, but the chat is awesome. We have a lot of fun doing it. So that's at 7:30 for an hour. And then at 9:00 tonight Eastern, we will be on my channel again. So 2 shows of mine on my channel. And I'll be with John's Comics with Kids. We do our Omni X-Men, where we break down issues from the Chris Claremont run. We have the omnibus that we had recently purchased. So it's been a lot of fun. We're breaking down issue 128. And then we're actually going to have Morbius on as a guest. So nice. Me and Morbius are hanging out for a straight 2 hours.
Oh my god!
Tonight. And then also Eric, actually, Azor's Tiger. He's actually going to be another all the other guests. We have 2 guests tonight for the X-Men show. So,
oh my god, that sounds like a great show. My god,
yeah. If you get a chance, swing by. It's it'll be a lot of fun. Eric has been on the show before. Morbius, this will be his first time talking X-Men with us. So if you guys like X-Men, if you like Claremont and John Byrne, swing by for that stuff. And then, Thursday we do our tag team Thursday. Saturday we do I do my Comic Collector Origins show. That's the one I would highly recommend swinging by if you guys don't get a chance to catch anything else of mine. The Comic Collector Origins is all about the community. I interview people about their origin story, how they got into the hobby. You were a guest on here, Alonzo. So, and half the team Nerd Herd has been on there so far. So it's a lot of fun. I'm talking to Bearded Comic Bro as my guest for this Saturday. Nice. So that'll be 2:00 Eastern time. So nice. A lot of things in the works, but
that sounds like a lot. Oh my God. And for you guys in the chat, I did drop, Justin's link to his YouTube page. Make sure if you haven't already, and I'm sure most of you have already, sub him up and get ready for his show that's going to be in a little bit. And then also too, as far as Team Nerd Herd, we have a brand new show at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to discuss the bottom half. And we're actually going to be talking about the not the top 10, but from 11 to 20 top comic books from cover price. So we're going to be talking about that today, and it's going to be our first time doing it at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Nice. Eastern. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. Justin, I will definitely see you in the chat because I will be there for your shows tonight. It should be a lot of fun. Again, thank you very much for coming on the show. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Same here, dude. This was a lot of fun, and maybe we can sync up again next time I happen to catch a new movie that you're ready to break down. So this has been fun.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. All right, guys.
Hey, if you want to do it right, you're gonna have to watch what you like.
Nice.